Sharon Reid, bringing news, ideas, and community needs. We learn, we grow, we stay informed together in harmony. Our voices are heard. Speak harmony where knowledge meets community.
Where knowledge meets community. We want to welcome you all to another episode of the Speak Harmony podcast right here on YouTube Live, which we bring to you every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. We would like to thank, as usual, our sponsors, APAT Media, a photo and production full-service media company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, video and live streaming services, and many, many more. Speak Harmony podcast is absolutely excited to say, come on over, do business here. This is where you get the professionals, the real true professionals, and you can contact them at 470-657-1998. Again, that's 470-657. Let me get that right. 470-657-1998. Or you can email them at info@apapmedia.com. That's info@apapmedia.com. So I'm Sharon Thompson, your host, and we're excited about what's about to go down, Sister Sharon. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I had over the weekend, it was all about FIFA. Or FIFA. FIFA. It was all about football.
Yes, football.
Yes, so that's what we were doing, and I got to clean out my closet, so that felt good.
Awesome.
You know, had slight little accident. Speak Harmony family. Don't laugh. I fell up the steps.
Not down, but up the steps.
Up the step. Up one step, I fell up. I stepped on my Afghan, and I was like, whoop, and then fell. Wow. Right on my butt, but I'm good. I'm good. So that's what happened to me this weekend. What about you? How was your weekend?
It was great. We spent it with friends on Saturday, and we sort of chilled at home on Sunday. You know, we don't get into all the hustle and bustle of all that stuff, you know. And so we just played it safe. We were at home doing our thing.
Okay.
But yeah. So talk to us. I know you got some hot topics for us.
That's right. As you know, this is Dr. Sharon Reid, the Heart Lady here, your co-host with Speak Harmony. And I bring National Day.
Yes.
And so, National Day for tomorrow, 7/8. Have you heard of Scud Day? SCUD. It's Savor the Comic, Unplug the Drama. Every July 8th, this annual observation encourages individuals to step away from the daily stresses and embrace moments of joy and relaxation. So, Sharon, it's a day where take time to laugh, unwind, prioritize your mental well-being.
Oh, I love it.
So, suggestions. Find your favorite comedy instead of the drama. I don't know. I love drama and so I love
Give
those
me all
sleuth
the comedy. I want to laugh. The world is too crazy right now. But
also, one thing that I do is disconnect from digital noise, the whole digital noise. I may not pick up my phone. I won't go on the computer. I will do that once a week. I have to do that for my own detox. I have to, yeah.
Digital detox.
Detox, okay. Absolutely. Okay. And other people, you know, mindfulness and what would you do to kind of, you know, relax and, you know, prioritize your mental health? Do you have a particular day, ritual, routine?
Go riding, because I have not done that in a minute, and I just so yearn.
Riding what?
A bicycle.
I had to make sure.
Oh yeah. Get on that bike and go riding. I mean,
it is.
It's so mind freeing. And so I love that. I really love that.
That's a good exercise too.
Yes. Excellent exercise.
Learn something new. I didn't know you were doing that.
Oh,
very good.
I love riding.
And so get back into it. Maybe we can meet at Stone Mountain Park and do the All right.
That part.
All right. And
Ooh.
so the other day is National Freezer Pop Day. You remember
Really?
popsicles? You don't remember this when you were young?
Of course, in Jamaica we call them Kisco Pop.
Kisco Pop.
Kisco
Get your
Pop.
Kisco Pop.
Yes.
I remember with the youth
Love it.
with the trolley. So
And especially
what's your
now that
favorite?
it's so cold.
Yeah.
You know what? I liked grape. Grape was my favorite, but I think I liked orange as well because orange is my favorite color. So I like the flavor of grape, but orange, yeah, because it's my
Kisco
favorite
Pop,
color.
that brought back memories for
Yes,
sure.
Yes.
I didn't like grape. I didn't like orange. I guess my favorite was always the lemon. But nowadays, how do we make our freezer pop? Bananas put in the freezer, grapes put in the freezer. They make great freezer pops. Put in grape in there and soccer. So if you like grape, try putting grapes in the freezer and use that as your freezer pop.
I do that all the time.
Yes.
I love grapes.
Yep.
I love frozen grapes.
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
that's it.
Put my grapes in there, and oh my god,
Yeah.
my husband not so much. But I like me some frozen grapes.
So
Yeah, nice.
then we would be remiss if we didn't talk about July 4th. And you know, it is definitely the pro and the con. We understand the African American experience
Yes.
and the rise of white nationalism. And we're not going to go deep into politics, but we do have to talk about and acknowledge the history, right? And how painful it is what was happening during that time. Because in 1776, what? Did you know? 41 of the signers for the Declaration, that's 41 out of 56, right? They all owned enslaved people,
They did.
even the author,
Oh yeah.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it is a sting. And I was in high school when I read the address of Frederick Douglass when he was asked to talk about, and that was a speech. So Speak Harmony family, if you get the opportunity, if you haven't, go ahead and look up Frederick Douglass' address about July 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, that was back in those days.
And then coming
All
off
right.
off the heels of Juneteenth. You said a sting? I mean,
Hey.
coming off Juneteenth, we're not talking about a month. We're talking
Okay.
about a few weeks.
Yes.
From Juneteenth right into July 4th. And so when people say freedom isn't free,
Look, it has
especially
never
with
been.
the climate that we're in today, in today's society. I mean, let me tell you, it's a tough
It's
pill
tough.
to swallow.
It
So-
really is.
And we've got an amazing guest who is going to unwrap some stuff.
Some of that.
and Share,
So let's-
share with us because, you know, what he has to offer, it's enlightening, it's uplifting, it's educational, it's all of the above.
Yeah.
All of the above. Wow.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you ever get the chance to read What to the Slave is 4th of July by Douglass, Frederick Douglass, go ahead and do that. And I think this is a great segue for you to go ahead and introduce our
Yes.
guest.
Oh my gosh. So this gentleman, folks, American Legacy Network president. If you've never heard of American Legacy, please, I implore you all to look it up. Research that. American Legacy Network. The president, the founder, the CEO, Rodney J. Reynolds. He has been a pioneer in the publishing industry, Sister Sharon, for 45 years.
Wow,
45. And believe it or not, I've really collected, because I used to get my copy of the American Legacy magazine. I know my husband is probably going to go search for it and hide it.
Which box you have
Rich
it in.
box. Because I mean, let me tell you, when you go to those magazines and you open it up,
Yeah.
it's History 101.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So he's been around. He's been doing, he's leading in that forefront for 45 years. I don't know if he started at 5 or what, but he's been keeping us informed with Black history in America. And to do this, Rodney strives to expand and enhance awareness in the African American history and culture while telling the stories of African American life in America. So he created that space, that brand back in 1995 as a magazine. And so he did it in partnership with Forbes Inc. Over the 15-year partnership, the magazine circulated over 2 million copies. I have quite a few of those. 2 million copies. And although the publishing industry has undergone constant change and approaching through the years, trailblazers, they say, like Mr. Rodney, offer the key to that change. In his 42 years of experience, he has always focused on growing the business, securing its sustainability, and all of the above. Now, we're moving into the digital space. So following the digital revolution, he launched the American Legacy Network Corporation, ALNC, in 2018. That serves as a new streaming platform for the American Legacy brand. And that includes the American Legacy Network, Mobile Experimental, ALX Mobile, and TV Film Production, ALN Productions. Well, let me tell you, for 30 years, he's developed, marketed products that celebrate the history and the culture. And with no further ado, I want to just say to some and, introduce them to some, to most, but there are a lot of people that know about this gentleman, especially right up there in the Northeast at Grace Baptist Church, which is where I was blessed to have met him and his beautiful family. Rodney Reynolds, welcome to Speak Harmony Podcast, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
So, Mr. Reynolds.
And by the way, I like orange freeze pop.
Thank you for that.
I like orange popsicle and grape. Those are my go-to.
Oh,
Really?
so y'all gonna team up on me? I'm the lemon lime girl. That's all right. That's okay.
I love it. I love that.
You just like to see the color of the tongue, orange or grape.
You know what? No, orange is my all-time favorite color. But grape, there's something about that flavor, the grape flavor, that is just, oh my God, it's just so soothing. But you like tart, don't you?
I like tart because, I'm kind of spicy and tart at the same time.
Okay. So getting into it.
Yeah. I have a burning question.
Yes.
What was happening, Mr. Reynolds, in 1995? What made you go ahead and start that magazine? What was going on?
Well, I had actually, in 1980, I had developed a magazine for Black men called Spectrum when I was living in Cleveland, Ohio. And through the years, I had published a number of different magazines. I went from Spectrum to like a Black City magazine called New Visions. And then I published a magazine called Renaissance, which was really a historical perspective of Greater Cleveland, a Black perspective of Greater Cleveland. So really my publishing career started in 1980, and I launched those magazines. And then I always wanted to publish a national magazine. And so looking at the landscape that existed at that particular time and trying to determine the focus of the publication I would develop, I came to the decision to center the focus on Black history and culture. Because the magazine Renaissance that I had published was focused on that, but just from a kind of a regional perspective. And I thought a national magazine would work that focused on Black history and culture. And so that's the niche that I pursued. And I started looking for particular partners to join me in launching the magazine and putting up some financing. And fortunately, I had an opportunity, as I pitched it to a number of potential partners, I was able to get in and talk with a couple of the executives at Forbes, specifically Tim Forbes, who was the president of one of their divisions at the time. And he loved the idea. He loved the distribution method that I outlined in my presentation. And so we published the pilot issue in 1995, and we began publishing it quarterly in 1996 because the response to the pilot issue was just overwhelming. And I really think that the response was what it was because of the editorial focus of the magazine, a publication that really centered itself on celebrating our history and culture. And so that was our initial product that we developed in 1995 and published quarterly beginning in 1996. And then as we published American Legacy, we were able to really develop ancillary products that not only provided additional revenue opportunities, but provided us an opportunity to look at our history and culture in a number of different ways. And so we launched American Legacy Junior for school-age children.
Oh, good.
We also developed a Black History curriculum guide that we were able to distribute in school districts around the country. We developed a mobile exhibit tour where we actually took an 18-wheeler and converted it into a museum. And so we could pull up into areas all across the country and share our rich and noble history with people who came on board. And so, and then we actually had a magazine called American Legacy Woman, excuse me, that we polybagged with American Legacy. And then we did some specialty publications. And so we really started, expanding in that area by offering different ways to absorb our history and culture, because everybody doesn't consume content in the same way.
Correct.
And so we were able to develop products that we would offer our history and culture in a multitude of ways to our audience.
And, I like that because, preserving Black history is so important, especially in today's world where it's being erased, washed out, dumped, just put away. So,
Well, there are many who are trying to erase our history. And you see it every day that it's taking place, whether it's Black museums around the country losing their funding, colleges and universities, the attack on DEI across the country. And so it's important that entities like American Legacy exist so that we can continue to share our history and culture with our audience all across the country. And there are others who are doing similar kinds of things. It might not be the same things that we do, but they're working every day to preserve our history and culture for the unborn, is what I like to say. So that those who come behind us will be able to know their history. So we're basically, holding our history and culture in trust for the unborn.
I love it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Storytelling. I mean, because it really changes how people understand history. And I
From
like,
our perspective.
Correct.
Because, I understand that even AI, ChatGPT, can be a little biased when it comes to our history. So, and it's also part of our legacy of having that oral history as well. And as Mr. Reynolds has said, people learn different. So it's, oral, it's reading, it's seeing, and all of that is needs for our grandchildren.
yes.
So, Mr. Reynolds,
Yes.
you have American Legacy. Tell us, what does that mean, even though it's part of your company name? What does American Legacy mean to you?
I think for me, it's always meant the fact that we are a part of America. Um, as my wife likes to say, we built this country. And so we like to tell the story of our history and of our culture in a number of different ways, whether it's the work that we do with TV and documentary projects that we're working on, or with our mobile exhibit. I'm really excited about what we are doing with our mobile exhibit because we've been able to tell some important stories over the past 5 or 6 years in that mobile exhibit environment.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, we actually take an 18-wheeler. And generally, when people think of 18-wheelers, they see the big trucks rolling down the
Yeah, I
highway.
love that idea.
So basically, we take an 18-wheeler or different size vehicle and we outfit it with a specific brand or we tell the story of a specific brand. And so we've been fortunate and honored to be able to tell the story of the black hockey players
Oh,
in
nice.
the NHL, the, the black cowboys and cowgirls. We did and we always come to Atlanta, the Bill Pickett Rodeo. We brought the exhibit down to Atlanta for the Bill Pickett Rodeo. But that's celebrating the cowboy and cowgirl heritage, which is amazing. We developed an exhibit for the CIAA. They were celebrating their 75th anniversary, and we told that story inside a mobile exhibit. And then we also had Unilever to sponsor an exhibit celebrating the legacy of Madam C.J. Walker when they relaunched her hair care line a couple of years ago. So in that mobile exhibit environment, we've been very, very fortunate to tell some important stories and showcase those particular brands where people can walk on the exhibit and actually say, wow. And that's what I think that we do with ALX Mobile. We create wow experiences. So if you're 90 years old or if you're 5 years old, we want you to say wow when you walk on one of our exhibits.
I'm already saying wow,
Oh,
Sharon.
yeah. Oh,
I'm already
absolutely.
saying wow. I think it's a genius idea for the mobile unit.
my God,
I
the
can't wait to see it.
Okay, let me tell you that mobile unit. Yes. When are you coming back to Georgia, though?
I don't know. It's, we're working with a couple of organizations that are trying during this difficult time to get funding for their tour. So I hope that it's pretty soon. But we were there, I think, a year ago with the Bill Pickett Rodeo, and they always sell out that particular rodeo,
Of course. Yeah.
not only across the country, but specifically in the Atlanta area. They do that. And then the last thing that we're really excited about is we're in the process of releasing the second edition of our Know Your History game. And it's a game that has over 500 plus questions, 54 new questions, and the questions are in 6 different categories. And so it tests your knowledge on African American history and culture. And it's a board game. So you play against others and you move around the board. And it's not only entertaining, but it's educational. So if any of your audience want more information about our board game, they can go to AmericanLegacyGames.com.
And we have a picture of it. We will show it when we get back from our break. We're going to get ready to break, but we have a couple more questions here. So you've witnessed the transformation from print to digital media. What would you say has been the biggest challenge in adapting?
Well, the business model for print versus digital is very different. Say, for instance, we could get roughly $25,000 per page of advertising in our print edition. From a digital perspective, you can't generate that kind of revenue. And so for us, as we were looking at how we were going to pivot from print to the development of our mobile experiential unit and some of the other things that we're doing, we had to look at that. With the limited resources that we had at the time, we had to look at how we were going to utilize those resources to sustain our brand. And so we looked at developing a streaming service. We had some talks with a major cable operation about possibly working with them to develop a American Legacy network cable channel, which we worked on for a while. But in the end, we opted to develop a streaming service, what they call over-the-top OTT streaming service, because it allowed us to get into that business with a lower out-of-pocket. So that's why we started American Legacy Network, the streaming service. And then we looked at what else were we doing that we could easily pivot to, and that ended up being our mobile experiential area, and then the development of video content, which fortunately I was able to have my two sons and another young lady work with us on the development of ALN Productions. And so we've developed a short form video series called ALN Remembers. Because as I said earlier, people consume their content in different ways. And younger people know how that their colleagues consume content. And so we were able to develop that short form video series. And now we're working on a couple of different documentary projects as well. So we sort of, pivoted and went from just a print brand to what we now call ourselves a multimedia content and experience producer. So we're still telling those stories, but in different ways. And each and every product that we develop and that we distribute celebrates Black history and culture.
Well, Mr. Reynolds, you are the real McCoy.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. We're getting ready to go on break, but I have to. We certainly will spread the word. I have to say, we're getting ready to go on break, Mr. Reynolds, but I have to say that I am so proud of you.
Oh, yes.
That the foresight of moving, the ingenuity of you using all these different avenues that are available to get the message across. I think that is a true legacy. Thank you for that.
It is. It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
It really is. Thank you. Wow. When we get right back, we'll be diving more into what's next. What does the future look like? Because I can't wait for American Legacy to get back here in the ATL.
ATL, come on.
And if I have to travel, I may have to go up there to see it.
Yes.
But I want to see where it's next, because we've got to take the show on the road again. So we'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, APAP Media Group. APAP Media Group is a full-service creative video and photo production company specializing in podcasting, multi-camera recording, and live streaming. Contact them by email at info@apapmedia.com. That's info@apapmedia.com. Thank you to our sponsor, APAP Media Group.
Welcome back. Welcome. And as usual, we have a little bit of news to give you here. We've got some stuff coming up in a couple of weeks. Well, this one is this weekend, actually. Wow. It's up on us. The Pink Picnic and Painting.
Oh, yes,
in
that's right.
pink pajamas. PPPP. Okay? Pajamas, they say, are optional, but I think the pink pajamas would be really cute. So it's this coming Thursday, ladies. This coming Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. And it's going to be at Painting with a Twist in Lawrenceville. That's 178 Krogan Street, Suite 230. Again, it's Painting with a Twist. That's the name of the business. And it's going to be at 178 Krogan Street, Suite 230, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Listen, you want to get into this. Oh, that's it? So it's only $45. It said before it's June 15th. So if you didn't get your tickets, grab them. And there's another event coming up, which my co-hosts will be a part of, and it's the JAICC and the Heart Lady in partnership with Covington Drive Church and God of Prophecy. So they're presenting a health expo and back to school giveaway on July 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that takes place at Covington Drive Church of God at 3333 Covington Drive, Decatur, Georgia. And what's the big deal of the year? This is going to be of this year. August 8th. If you have not purchased your tickets, guys, they're going. Get your tickets because the Atlanta Jamaican Association, in collaboration with the AJ Cultural and Educational Fund, Inc., presents the annual Independence Ball and Scholarship Awards. And it's August 8th from 6 p.m. until it's going to be at the Evergreen Resort. That's the Lakeside Resort in Stone Mountain, Georgia, right up there in that park. So it's 4021 Lakeview Drive in Stone Mountain Park. It's going to be amazing. Our keynote speaker, Sonia Richards-Ross. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets.
Sharon,
All right.
Tell us a little bit who Sonia Richards and Ross is, because some
You know
people
what?
may not know.
Well, let me tell you,
Yeah.
she is Jamaican born. She came here she came to the States at 12 years old. And she's a four-time Olympian.
Four-time?
Four-time Olympian. She is a Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, really? I
She
didn't
does
know that.
Oh, yeah. She does she's a businesswoman. She's a new, what do you call it? Sportscaster. Mm-hmm. And she's got a beautiful family. And condolences to you, Sonia Richards-Ross, on the passing of your matriarch, your grandmother, a few days ago. We send condolences. From Speak Harmony and AJA. So,
All right.
we're back. My goodness. Sir Reynolds, talk to us. Give us a little background, because I know you're from Ohio. Okay? Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
And we moved, my wife and two sons, we moved to New York actually 30 years ago. In 1997, December of 1997, we moved to New York. And we've been here since then.
In New York?
In New York.
In New York.
All right. What part of New York?
We are in Mount Vernon, New York.
Oh, Mount Vernon. All right.
Yeah, which
New York.
is where I met him. He was at that big white church in Mount Vernon, and that's how they refer to it, Grace Baptist Church.
Yes, I remember what it looks like. Yeah,
that's where we met, and I mean that was a blessed day. So shout out to his beautiful bride of how many years, Rodney?
43. It'll be 43 years in September.
Oh,
Wow,
congratulations.
congrats. Wow.
Yes.
And she is what I tell you, you talk about being spicy. She is a brilliant sister. I mean, brilliant in every word, every respect and aspect of the word. I mean,
Yeah.
she is amazing. So we're going to shout out Miss Dr. Lillian Reynolds.
Okay.
Shout out. And he has two amazingly talented sons. And then
Yeah.
he has grandkids.
Okay. Keeping
Yeah.
the legacy.
He has
All
grandkids.
right.
So keeping that legacy going. Yeah, he's got amazing sons. I mean, they both singers, aren't they? They're both
Yeah,
talented. They're
both are artists. One's a
Yes.
classical singer, and he's also a minister of music at a church in Maryland. And then my other son is a hip hop artist and a minister as well. So,
who graduated from Harvard, by the way.
Okay. All right.
Yale. He went to Yale.
Yale, Robert.
Yeah.
Yale. I know he went to an Ivy
Ivy
League
League.
college. Yeah. Brilliant guy. Brilliant. You
Who
know,
did he
he's
get
got
those singing skills? Who did they get those singing artistic skills
They got
from?
physical skills from their mother.
I knew
They
it.
I was just getting ready to ask you to sing for us.
No, that's Lillian. That's Dr. Reynolds.
So turn it on.
So I have a question to ask you, which is kind of tricky, but what would you tell your younger self, say at 25? I mean, about the person you are today, what you've accomplished by, especially given your journey. What would you say to your 25-year-old self?
Nice
My
question.
25-year-old self. Interesting. I got married at 25. I was 25 when we got married.
Oh,
So,
how cute.
I don't know if I would do things too much differently. I'm thankful for the journey. In any business, an entrepreneur, there are going to be ups and downs. But even in the valleys, you can have a mountaintop experience. And so that has always happened throughout these 45 years that I've been in the media business and different aspects of it. Sometimes you have the capital you need, sometimes you don't. And so we've had to push through, make sacrifices, but we've continued to be able to distribute our products throughout the country, which I hope has provided a treasure trove of information to those individuals who have come in contact with our content, whether it's been the magazine itself or any of the other products that we've developed. But, my 25-year-old self, I don't know if I would have done too much different, maybe have more money, but, that you can always do more with additional dollars, but sometimes you have to do what you can with the dollars that you have.
Absolutely.
And so the important thing is that we persevered. We continue to work on our business, developing additional products that we felt that our audience would be responsive to. And, I still get to this day, almost on a daily basis, emails and texts and through social media, people saying how much they miss American Legacy magazine because of what we presented in the content, the editorial content of the magazine. And so, but we've tried to take that content and repurpose it and redistribute it in ways that it may reach an even wider audience now with this digital age. And what we're doing with the development of a documentary series called Harlem Dreams, and what we've done with our short form series and some of the other content that we've developed, we've been able to accomplish that. And as I said earlier, just really happy with what we've been able to do in that mobile experiential area because, you know, and the reason why I even focused on the development of a mobile exhibit was as a kid growing up in Cleveland, I remember the library bringing a bookmobile to our neighborhood, and we would be able to walk on it and pick out a book. And so as I was developing American Legacy magazine, I was looking for ways that we could, you know, because everyone's not going to see the magazine, but I was looking for ways that we could reach our audience throughout the country in different neighborhoods. And that mobile exhibit allowed us to do that. The first tour we did in 2008, we did 20 cities in 30 days. And we went to churches, we went to all kind of different venues to set up the exhibit. And people could come out and visit and didn't have to pay because we went out and got sponsorship dollars. And so therefore there was no cost to come on to the exhibit. And so we were really proud about that. And then we just expanded that idea in 2018 when we were celebrating the 10th anniversary of our mobile exhibit. And we started developing mobile experiences for other brands. So, and we're looking to do more of that as well.
Yeah, we would love to have more than one mobile.
Oh, yeah.
So that they could be traveling throughout the state. So yeah, all right, sponsors, you know, you got the charge.
That's right. That's right. You know, my wheels are turning, right?
Okay,
who are we gonna
yeah.
talk
It's
to?
like we got to figure out who
you
to
gotta-
talk to get more than one mobile. They just can't stay up in Ohio now.
No, in New York.
In New York, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, fortunately, all the exhibits that we've done, you know, like what we did for the NHL, that went all across America and Canada. And so the last tour that we did for them in 23-24 was a 28-week tour, you know, and it crisscrossed North America. The Bill Pickett Rodeo went to about 8 to 10 different markets around the country. Everywhere that they had a rodeo, we took that exhibit.
Okay.
And then the CIAA exhibit visited the CIAA schools. So, you know, those exhibits can go anywhere. And they're different sizes depending on individuals' budgets. But, you know, our big product right now is the release of our second edition of the board game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds, it seems as though through the mobile experience and the different and the information in your magazines, that you probably give us some little unknown facts about American history and the legacy. Are there historical figures you believe deserve much greater recognition?
Woo. When I think about all the stories that we did published in American Legacy, there are a few that stuck out. And one story in particular we did on Wiley College back in 1997. And that particular story actually became a feature film called The Great Debaters.
I remember that. Yes.
Right. So that film was inspired by a story that we published in American Legacy in 1997, and it was released as a feature film in 2007. So it took the producers basically 10 years from when they saw the story or read the story in American Legacy until it became a film. So we're certainly, that's one of the stories that stuck out to us or to me. And then I was always intrigued by the fact that the first jockey inducted into the horse racing Hall of Fame was a black man, and that was Isaac Murphy. And so we used to like to uncover some of those hidden facts in history. And in every issue,
Oh,
you would find information on maybe something that you didn't know. I remember years ago running to a congressman we were in Dallas, Texas, Bill Gray. He was a congressman. He used to be head of the Youth United Negro College Fund. And as we were talking, he said to me, he said, Rodney, every time, he said, you know what I like about your magazine is that every time I pick it up, I learn something that I didn't know.
totally.
And that was one of the highest compliments that we received in terms of the magazine.
Can I tell you, I confirm that, Rodney, because I was just about to say it. Every single time that I turned the pages, it was a history lesson. Every single time. And I so looked forward to it. Yeah, and that's why I'm going to hold on to my boxes.
Hold on to the boxes.
I'm holding on to them because I
Absolutely.
was going to bring it today. I just it just slipped my thoughts.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I cherish them. I go back and I flip through and I go, wow. And I learned. I remember something. I learned something else every single time.
Yeah. And you know,
one of our listeners, by the way, she
Yeah,
just shot
she's-
out and she says, yes, she remembers.
Janet, she says she remembers the great. And do you
Yes.
know that one of my sons was so inspired by that movie, he joined the debate club because of that.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. See? And these are the things that you do. I mean, I shared it because when I would get the magazines, I would share it in the family and friends, and they're like, where did this magazine come from? So I was making sure people got those magazines, so when let me tell you, when they went away, I was like broken, so broken. But we've come into the digital age. And so as far as culture and heritage, Sharon, it featured African American traditions, festivals, music, art, literature, connections to the Africa and Caribbean diaspora. It covered everything. And guys, if you don't know anything about the American Legacy magazine, you got some research to do. You really do. Because, this gentleman, he's pretty modest, but he has done some remarkable stuff. His crew of, his staff, his sons and his other employees, his contributors have done such remarkable work. So we just want to applaud you and give you your flowers as we can, while we can.
Yep.
Just want to do that because, I'm looking forward for you, that mobile unit to get here. I'm telling you, we may have to go meet it half the way because we got to go see it. I missed it when it was here and I'm disappointed. I was so disappointed.
You talked about the digital age and the video age. One of the things that we did with our short form video series, and it was interesting because it's actually been one of the episodes that is has generated the largest response. And it was an episode that we produced on the history of Black tea, the history of tea.
Really? That's interesting. The large, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can go on
Really?
American Legacy Network.tv and watch that video, the history of tea. And it's really, we We interviewed a couple of different Black women who operate tea houses. But the comments that we received from individuals who were able to view the video, it was pretty amazing. The fact that a lot of them were introduced to tea by their grandparents, and that's how they became a tea drinker, And so
Interesting.
now it's an area that, people go to tea houses now.
Yeah. What's funny about that is that sorry to cut you off, but I'm invited to a tea party by a sister who's going to be 72 years old, and she's having a tea party. I'm definitely going to have her watch this episode so that she can have her bragging rights and have a cup of tea.
Black tea house. Oh, there we go. Ellen
that's
remembers
it.
black
Right
tea
there.
houses. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. And the art, Sister Sharon.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the art in the American Legacy magazine. Oh my gosh, I'll definitely share
at
them with
that.
you, but I'm gonna have to bring the magazine to you.
Please.
Hold on to it while you thumb through those pages
Yeah.
and take it back home.
Yeah.
I can't let it out of my sight. When I tell you they're precious commodities,
Yeah.
I cannot. When I opened up the box and I looked at them, it brought back so many good memories. And I just want to say, you said the tea, but which cover would you say had the greatest cultural impact?
Well, if you can show the game, and because it has a number of different of our covers on there, these were some of the most impactful covers
Yes.
that we published. Certainly with Duke Ellington, Muhammad Ali, and the cover that featured Muhammad Ali coming up out of the water, we kind of jokingly said that was our Halle Berry cover. We weren't selling Flash and stuff, but we're selling history. But
Yes.
the movie that she was in the James Bond movie, and she came up out of the water.
Classic.
That was sort of like our we called it our Halle Berry cover. But that was an impactful cover. And then the cover that we did with Malcolm X, a number of women who were on the cover, Ophelia DeVore, who ran a modeling agency in the New York area. She was one of the first Black women to own her own modeling agency. So there were just, if I had to say my favorite cover, it would probably be our very first cover, which we featured Eugene Bullard on the cover, and he was America's first Black aviator. But in order to get his license, his pilot's license, he had to go to France in order to get his license. But that was probably my favorite cover because it was our first cover. And then, but, with all the various covers, our covers tell a story themselves.
Yeah.
They do.
Without even
They do.
opening the magazine,
They
each
do.
cover tells a story.
They really do.
And
And ask
so-
a question.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, wow.
Look at Sammy Davis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the cover next to, on this image here, the cover next to President Obama, where we show the 1961 Freedom Riders,
Yes.
then and now. Those were when they were booked in jail, and then how they looked afterwards. That was a powerful cover for us as well.
Of course, of course. You know, I dare to say that they were all powerful covers. I mean, everyone powerful in their own unique way. Tell the folks how they can get to you. They can gain access to all the information that you have, Rodney, because this history lesson needs to be told. It needs to be taught. It needs to be shared right across the spectrum. Tell the folks how they can get in touch.
Well,
with
they can get to us directly, specifically for the game. They can go to AmericanLegacyGame.com. And then for any of our video content, they can go to American Legacy Network.tv. And that they can go directly to our YouTube channel and view a lot of our content as well.
All right. Well, Sharon and I are going to read over the magazine with a nice cup of tea. And before we go, we're talking about legacy.
Yes.
Who was the most influential or legacy that influenced you?
I'm going to say there were, really the person that influenced me the most in the publishing industry was John H. Johnson. I always kind of admired what he was able to accomplish with the development first of the Negro Digest and then Jet and then Ebony and how he built that particular company. And then Earl Graves was also an inspiration.
Yes.
I met him when I came to New York, and he and I used to actually get together, 2 or 3 times a year to have breakfast and just talk and share. And then I was honored to receive the inaugural Earl G. Graves Entrepreneurial Award that was presented by the Westchester Black Lawyers Association. And so I would think from an industry standpoint, those two gentlemen were, they really served as a source of inspiration. Because in 1980, when I developed my very first magazine, I looked at what John Johnson was doing, and I thought, I think I could do that. Well, I jumped in.
You did. And you did. And you did
a
him proud.
great job. Yeah.
He did him proud. You did us all proud. So thank you for
but
that.
my mother encouraged me to shoot my best shot. I was raised by a single mother, and so she encouraged me, and she encouraged my dreams. And then certainly, once I met Lillian, she has been a source of inspiration for what we've been able to do, and has always encouraged me to continue to fight and continue to push things forward. So, and that's important too, because sometimes you don't want to, but you hear someone that's not you tell you how important the work that you are doing is to provide this important information to our people, not only in our community, but other Black communities that exist around the world, the Black diaspora.
Absolutely.
It's important information,
right.
to consume. And so we're proud of what we've been able to accomplish over the past 30 plus years with the American Legacy brand, but even more importantly, what we've been able to do for the past 45 years of, remaining steadfast and, pushing through and continuing to provide this important information that we do on a daily basis.
Wow. So congratulations again, Janet and other, contributors, supporters are just very stoked right now they're so excited to hear this information. What would you give to a young person, a young mind who says, you know what, I too want to start my own version of history, whatever that looks like. I want to start something. I want to go there because you know what? Congratulations to a mom. Mothers are amazing. You know, someone says, very education. I may look into the board game. Good. Thank you very much. Definitely look into it.
Thank you, Nika.
Yes.
Shout out to Nika. Shout
Yes.
out to Janet, GK6.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you so much. So what would you say to that young mind? Because there's so many among us, and all they need is a nudge, a little encouragement. What kind of encouragement? Words would you give?
I would encourage them to dream and dare to dream. Because, you know, in today's environment, a lot of young people, their dreams are stifled. You know, they're not encouraged at home. They're not encouraged in school. And so they somehow don't have a dream. So I think that's one of the first things that you have to do is really kind of look at what you want to do and don't be afraid of doing it. And don't be afraid of failure, you know, because if I was afraid of failure, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Because every magazine that I developed wasn't successful, but it helped me or prepared me for the next magazine that I developed or the next, you know, piece of content that we developed. And so you have to find your passion. And that's one of the most important things as well, is to be passionate about what you're doing, whether it's something in media, whether it's becoming a doctor or a teacher. I mean, you know, you asked me about an inspiration, and I forgot to really talk about my teacher, Mr. Ragland, who encouraged me when I was in high school. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today if it hadn't been for him. Because, you know, he really encouraged me. He stayed on me. He was a street guy, but he was, you know, he saw something in me, and he always encouraged me to reach for the stars, you know. And that's what we have to do for our youth today, is to encourage them to reach for the stars, to be passionate about whatever it is that they have a desire to do. And that's so important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Reach for the stars, because, you know, when people say the sky's the limit, hey, Blakely P says, yeah, congrats, thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much, Blakely, for tuning in. You know, I don't believe there are limits. I mean, when people say the sky's the limit, that's not one of my favorite
You got the universe to talk about.
We've got, look, there's no limits. The limit is what we place on ourselves. So thank you so much. We appreciate you taking time out to come in and share with us. Yes. Congratulations.
Well,
we look forward to connecting soon.
And we look forward for the game. And is there somewhere where we can get the game?
Yes.
Besides that's where it'll be, at your site, AmericanLegacy.com.
AmericanLegacyGames.com.
Got you. All right. So we will check it out. I'm definitely checking it out and having a cup of tea with that as well. So it is time to go. Speak Harmony family. We had a great time in our show. We did. We sure did. And we thank you for commenting and continue to comment and bring your suggestions. Thank you to our guest once again, Mr. Rodney Reynolds. And big up for the American Legacy Network. Big up, doing great things. And once again, thank you to our sponsor, APAP Media Group. Big up Mr. P and Damien for producing this podcast. Yes. And we will see you next Tuesday right here, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, keep speaking harmony. And Sharon, what do you want folks to do?
Make sure to subscribe, share, and subscribe and share again. Thank you. See you next week. Until then.
They talk about health, they talk about care, sharing tips, they got us without a care. Thank you for listening, you're the best. See you next week to keep the best. Together we learn, together we grow. There'll be lesson every hour, we know. See you next week with more stories to tell. More wisdom, more smiles,